Hey guys, Rob Shoecraft here with Storm Fitness, and today I'm going to do another. I guess we'll call this these little segments annual reviews. This is equipment that I've already reviewed in previous videos, but I've owned for at least a year. Again, as I said in the first video that I did a couple days ago, where I was reviewing barbells, it's one thing to have a review on equipment that you've used for maybe a little bit and you're kind of just echoing some of the features, whether or not they work as advertised, etc., etc. You guys know what reviews are, right? It's another to beat the crap out of a bunch of stuff for at least a year and see how it continues to hold up as advertised. So that's kind of what I'm going for today. I'm going to review 3 different products, or I guess it's more of a annual impression after at least a year of usage. I'm going to start off with my Rogue R4 power rack. Now I've set up a bunch of crap. I've just kind of hung a bunch of stuff on this just to give you an idea of the versatility of this thing. And really this kind of speaks to the versatility of power racks in general. However, I will say that I'm not disappointed at all with this. Probably looks about the same as it did in the first video that I shot, and I'll try to link to that. You know, you have some scuff marks on the safety pins. Safety pins, by the way, are not as big of a pain in the butt as they've been reviewed before from other folks. That was one of my initial concerns. However, I mean, it's like anything. Once you take something out, put it back in, and get used to doing that, 50 times a day, it just becomes second nature. It's a breeze. It's really not that big of a deal. But yeah, the black powder coating has chipped off a bit and probably will continue to, and there'll probably be a little bit of rust growing in there at some point. But this is nothing that can't be refinished with a can of spray paint, maybe some steel wool. So I'm not too concerned. I don't really care. I don't care how stuff looks, okay? I'm walking around barefoot right now. My gym, my rules, bro. The J-hooks. J-hooks have held up very well. They've kind of done their job, as you could see from the scuff marks on them. Saved my barbells from a lot of wear and tear. A little bit every now and then, you might slam down a bar, especially with the SS yoke bar. If you're doing front squats or something, it kind of likes to flip back real quick depending on how much weight you put on it. So that'll sort of roll up and scuff on that. But again, it's just, you use your stuff, you're gonna wear it down a little bit. It's not gonna look as pretty. That's kind of a given. I don't care what you have. So I've set up a bunch of crap in here just to give you an idea. Most of this stuff is not included with the R4. However, I kind of consider this thing to just be a big old USB hub. I'm going to make kind of a nerdy analogy there, but with a USB, it fits just about any gadget you have, and just about anything I have plugs into this thing in some way or another. So I'll just walk you through a couple ideas. So, I have my, these are my Black Widow platforms. You could do, first of all, these suckers I haven't had them for a year, so I'm not going to talk too much about them, but they're very, very versatile and heavy duty, and they could be used for a lot more than just hip hinge squats, which are, by the way, what they're intended for, and they do a great job there. But just to show you, you can plug these into them. If you can imagine, you put your waist in that spud hip belt squat, connected to some weights, and sit up here, do squats. I got this here. These pens do come with the R4. They're kind of designed for accommodating resistance, like a variable resistance training, using bands, attaching them to barbells to make your, well, I won't get into the details of that, but that's what they're made for. However, I use them for so many other different things. These pens are extremely versatile as well. You got holes plugging in here, holes plugging in here. By the way, I can't remember if I did this in the other video, but I've labeled all the holes. That just makes it easier. I just took like a China pen, or whatever they're called, red wax pen, and I just marked the holes. It just makes it easier to track people's configurations and progress when we're doing things like barbell push-ups, kind of get them lower and lower to the floor. Anyways, so like this, for instance, not quite as pretty as cool as a lateral delt machine, but I've rigged this up so now you can kind of imagine what I'm doing here. just little crap like that really, really works out, and I wouldn't be able to do that without without this rig here. You know, I was able to, I got this these leg raise attachments. Got rid of my old Weeder leg raise machine. It was just taking up too much real estate with the addition of that wrestling mat in here. Started teaching some jiu-jitsu lessons. Anyways, I needed to make space. You know, you get these little straps. You can do all sorts of resistance band work from there. Of course, it's metal, so I got my mag mobility balls, like balls. I could do all sorts of SMR stuff on here, you know, smash the traps and stuff. And then, of course, I got my Spud Ink pulley. I've reviewed that before. That just attaches just about anywhere on this. So all that to say, this sucker has been solid. I have not had to readjust the connection to the floor, the bolts. It, man, I don't see me not having this forever. It's great. Let's move on. Now, actually, you know, while we're here, I want to talk about this Rep Fitness, R-E-P, Rep Fitness, trying to smash my feet, box. Plyo Box, I think, is what it's advertised as. So, we have 3 different heights here. We have 14-inch, 16-inch, 12-inch. I mean, I guess this is just a testament to the power of wood, but it's very well made. Actually, you pretty much make it yourself. It comes with just a bunch of pre-drilled holes, and you put it together. I talked about that in the review, but I just want to show you, it has been through all sorts of crap. I mean, I just ding weights on this thing all the time. Usually, so I have people do like box squats with it, and it's between one of these 3 heights. It's the perfect height for whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's teach people, you know, pistol squats or heavy barbell squat to box, whatever it is you're doing. This is you're going to find the perfect height between the 3 of these configurations. Plus, I showed you how I was, you know, a lot of times I put weights on it, so people will come off of these blocks and they'll just drop plates right on this sucker, and it's held up quite well. So really, not too much to talk about within the realm of wood. Humans have been using wood for a little while. I'm sure there's some other wood reviews out there. But anyways, it's a great box for the price. It's you're stupid not to own it, man. So this right here is my GHD. That's the last thing I'll talk about today. My glute ham developer. It's Rogue. It's the Echo model. Rogue Echo glute ham developer. This box here, my in-laws made for me. Thanks again, Howard and Judy. You guys are awesome. It just sits right on there. You could buy Rogue's box. They sell a box as well. But I didn't because, yeah, I have cool in-laws. Anyways, I got this thing hooked up to the Rogue, dang it, what do they call this? Oh, it's called like, dang it, what is it, the strip? It's called the strip or something like that. I talked about it in the last video. Anyways, it mounts quite well. I've never had any problem. No one's ever fallen out of it or anything. Put your ankles right through here or underneath here, depending on what you're doing. The only thing I'll say, these little holes here have appeared. One of them appeared, I was being stupid and I was doing like depth jumps and landing on this thing when it was stacked up on a bunch of boxes, and so that might be my fault. I wouldn't necessarily expect to see that. Nevertheless, I do have to deal with it at some point. It hasn't, this seems to be pretty tight threading, sewing, or whatever, how you phrase that, not Betsy Ross, but through here, so it hasn't spread, so to speak. However, like I said, I need to do some sort of repair on that, even if it's just Gorilla Tape. But other than that, it's been very solid. All the stitching through here seems to be great. It's really easy to clean. What else? Oh yeah. So one of the nice features of this thing. Oh, these straps, by the way, are also solid. I mean, I use this box for other things too, so I'm constantly pulling it out and restrapping it in, et cetera, and they've held up for that usage. One of the kind of less advertised uses of this, which I can't figure out why, because it's really great, is reverse hyperextensions. So rather than getting a reverse hyperextension machine, I can just use the double up on this. And if you can imagine what a reverse hyper is, if you don't know what that is, you basically have your stomach more or less on here, your stomach and hips. You have your legs hanging off. I'll explain what this crap is in a second. Legs hanging off. You squeeze your butt. It works your glutes and your lower back, your rectus spinae, and all these other little muscles in your posterior chain. It's great for strengthening your back. A little safer than good mornings. Not that I don't do good mornings, but you know, it's nice. In addition, you can do hip extensions and all sorts of like hard sit-up variations, and of course the glute ham raise. What I did here though, what's going on here, I basically took one of the pins that came with the R4 over there, and I popped it through the hole, and I just take a couple handles that I have from these resistance bands, put them on here so that when somebody's doing reverse hypers, they don't have to reach on the end. Sometimes, you know, they'll be doing 4 or 5 sets, maybe, you know, 20 reps or whatever the case may be. The volume, you wouldn't think, but it does kind of scratch up your hands, and people have complained about it. And I just put this on there. They put their hands through here and just hang on, and it makes things a heck of a lot easier. Because it's not a real reverse hyper machine, I don't have a place to put plates to put their legs so they can, you know, do added resistance if they need more. I did just take a couple dumbbells, and I could put bands in between this. Basically, they put their ankles, I don't know if I could do this, but put your ankles back underneath this thing, and then you can go up and get a little extra resistance, accommodating resistance that way. If I never need to add more resistance, I just basically add more weight. It's kind of clunky, but it works. This whole freaking place is kind of clunky, but it works, right? That's about it. That's all I want to talk about today. Just those 3 products. I guess I talked about like 7 or so altogether, but the 3 main ones, the R4, the Echo GHD, the Rogue Echo GHD, and the MyFitnessPal Plyo Box. Happy with all of them. Rob Shoecraft, 3 Storm Fitness. Please subscribe to my videos if you haven't already. If there's any more equipment in here, any more equipment you want to see, want me to talk about, just let me know. Love hearing from, I love the comments and everything. You guys are awesome. And have a great day. Bye.